My name is Sachit Rao and I'm an assistant professor here at the International Institute of Information Technology, Bangalore. I'd like to introduce briefly my educational and research background. I obtained my PhD and MS degrees both in mechanical engineering from the Ohio State University. Both these degrees were preceded by a bachelor's also in mechanical engineering from the University of Mysore. My research interests are in the area of control systems theory with an emphasis on variable structure systems and sliding mode control. During my research experience, I have applied this algorithm to several applications in mechanical, electrical, and aerospace engineering. I also have several years of industrial experience in an Indian robotics company, and during this time, I have come to realize the importance of incorporating hardware constraints in controller design and implementation, as well as analyzing their effects in the performance of unmanned systems. This industrial experience has also planted the seeds of research in the domains of human-robot collaboration and artificial intelligence in the large. At IIIT Bangalore, I am closely associated with the Electronic Systems Design Group, which offers master's and doctoral degrees since 2014 in this domain. The focus of this particular group is in the areas of embedded system and system on a chip. These two focus areas were selected based on the revolution that is being unleashed by the idea of the Internet of Things, as well as the availability of low-cost and low-power hardware platforms, as well as the convergence of software and hardware. My talk is primarily based on the work that has been done by researchers from several domains, such as social scientists, biologists, as well as neuroscientists, and numerous press articles to try to explain why people spend extended durations of time on such social networking sites. From a personal research point of view, the positive reinforcer which helped me in choosing this particular topic for the Winter School is the concept of feedback, which has been used so successfully by technology in enabling the popularity of social networking sites, and it is the same concept of feedback which forms the bedrock of the most basic results which have been presented in the area of control systems and theory.
Hello, I am Danica Srinivasan, a professor here at the International Institute of Information Technology, Bangalore. I work in the areas of geometric modeling, graphics, and 3D printing, as well as mobile and internet applications. I am part of the research group here called the eHealth Research Center, or EHRC, where we look at how information communication technologies can improve healthcare services, especially in India. This lecture, IT and Healthcare Opportunities and Challenges, we look at how IT is being used in healthcare, both in terms of existing deployments as well as emerging uses of some of these technologies. Healthcare by nature is data intensive with a variety and disparate data acquired from a variety of sources. We will look at how such data can be organized, accessed, and analyzed, especially with the use of electronic health records or EHRs. We'll see how EHRs can play a big role in helping to improve some of these services. We'll take a special look at public health in India, where we believe that IT-enabled services can make a significant improvement in the delivery of healthcare services. So we'll look at how electronic health records, EHRs, can play a key role in improving the delivery of healthcare services. And specifically, we'll look at how IT-enabled services in the public health sector can improve the availability, affordability, accessibility, and quality of services, which are crying needs in India right now. When we start collecting data and processing lots of data, this also brings in issues of security, privacy, and confidentiality of data, both individual data as well as that of communities. So we will also look at technical, regulatory, and policy approaches to these problems and how together these can make EHR-based systems a more viable option for impacting healthcare. These are some of the research areas that we are looking at the eHealth Research Center here in IIIT Bangalore. We work with doctors, hospitals, government agencies, and other entities involved in the healthcare ecosystem to see how we can make an impact in this space. Thank you.
I am a faculty in the Center for Information Technology and Public Policy here at IIIT Bangalore. So my work primarily is on telecom regulation and policy. So I specifically work on spectrum regulation, spectrum management, and other associated policy issues. Of late, I have also been looking at data protection privacy, as it is closely related to telecom and internet services. So in this particular session on data protection privacy for the digital era, I basically look at the different aspects of data privacy. I provide a taxonomy for data privacy. In fact, on everyday life, we exchange a lot of data with internet service companies, over-the-top players such as Facebook, Google, also with telecom companies. However, with the recent pronouncement of the Supreme Court judgment on the right to privacy, the data protection privacy has become very, very important, especially in India. And also the data protection bill is on its way to the parliament to be enacted. And therefore, it's very important for all of us to know how data is used and what is the right as data objects that we have on the data, and also what are the regulatory and policy protections that we have as individuals with respect to our private data. So that is the overall view of this particular session that I'll be teaching.
My name is Amit Prakash and I'm a faculty member at IIT Bangalore. I am associated with the Center for IT and Public Policy and the eHealth Research Center at the Institute. I am part of the IT and Society Research domain, and I'm also coordinator of the MSc Digital Society program. My research interests are in ICTs and development, in e-governance, in public policy, largely looking at development and social sectors. And of late, I have also been looking at social complexities and trying to adopt and adapt systems approaches to understanding and modeling some of the complexities inherent in social and digital systems. This session is on digital technologies and our everyday interaction with the state. In this session, we plan to look at what constitutes our everyday interactions, why do we interact with the state as citizens, and in those interactions, what can digital technologies do for us. We'll look at certain project designs, see which perspectives of governance and development those project designs embody, and try to deconstruct the notions of what those technology designs and what those technologies can lead to in terms of better interactions and better relationships between states and societies.
Hi, I'm Vidisha. I'm an assistant professor at IIT Bangalore. I have a degree in sociology and political science. My research interests include e-governance and social shaping of technology. Currently, I'm working on a project which looks at how biometric IDs and Aadhaar in particular is shaping the relationship between the state and citizen. At IIT Bangalore, I'm affiliated to Center for IT and Public Policy and work in the domain in IT and society. As part of this domain, we run interdisciplinary master's program, MSc in Digital Society, which is a unique interdisciplinary program for 2 years, which is open to all bachelor students from any discipline, and it is looking at the intersection of IT and social sciences. The calls are usually out in March every year, and as I said, it's a 2-year master's program. As part of IT and society domain, we also have our research program, which is MS by Research and PhD. Here also, we look at interdisciplinary approaches to the understanding of the relationship between technology and society. In the introductory lecture, I give an overview of the course and also overview of how the digital technologies are becoming increasingly part of our everyday life and who are the main drivers behind such an entanglement of the digital in our everyday life. I also try to emphasize the need for an interdisciplinary approach to understand the relationship between technology and society at large, and also give an overview of the following lectures, which all of which try to strive for a holistic approach towards this relationship. In my lecture on data-driven identities, I provide an overview of the digital data world, who are the major actors in this world, and how this digital data world has both a technical as well as a social dimension. By looking at both these dimensions, I will examine what implications that the digital data world has on our identities in everyday life.
Hi there. My name is Srisha Rao. I am a full professor at IIT Bangalore, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my research, which is mostly in computer science, right here in IIT Bangalore. Computer science is not just the development of computer applications. It is computational thinking. It is the application of computing concepts to real-world problems. Here are a couple of well-known quotes. Computer science is no more about computers than astronomy is about telescopes. Similarly, a different quote is, the purpose of computing is insight, not numbers. And the point in all this is to clarify that computer science is not merely about using computers to crunch numbers. It's about using computers to get insights into real-world problems that we can use to effect real-world solutions. So, in general, all scientific research is concerned with problem solving. Problem solving, of course, requires fact discovery or artifact creation. Computer science research is likewise most useful when it touches on some real discipline and solves some real problem. Here are some real-life problems that I've looked at in the course of my research. Infectious diseases, such as mosquito-borne diseases, kill millions of people worldwide, and there doesn't seem to be any cure in sight. What can we do about that? Now, we are seeing many more people than in previous decades who want to use computing resources, who are online all the time, who need various services, including IT-enabled services, delivered to them. At the same time, we don't have enough skilled operators to provide such services manually. This requires AI, artificial intelligence. At the same time, there are major nuisances that have come up because of the proliferation of IT, including fake news. What can we as computer scientists do about that? Yet another problem is that energy and other resources are in short supply. That's of course true for other systems. It's also true for computing systems. What can we do about that? Similarly, complex systems have behaviors that are not easily understood. For example, why do stampedes sometimes occur in crowds? What can we do to prevent such stampedes? How can we design buildings more effectively to control crowd behavior? And based on these real-life problems, as I've just briefly described them to you, here are the corresponding research problems. Agent-based modeling of mosquito-borne diseases to understand their spread. We've done that. AI solutions for detecting fake news using deep learning and other techniques. Algorithmic approaches for energy efficiency and resource management in systems. And modeling of emergency evacuations, air cargo systems, and so on. My talk in this winter school deals with one important question, which is how are algorithms affecting our society and what do we need to do to be aware of and mitigate any possible ill effects. As we know very well, computing systems form an increasingly important part of human society. We all depend on them for many important needs. They have taken on the role of advisors, trusted confidants, friends, and much more. They recommend which movies we should watch, which books we should read, what news articles we can possibly believe in, and so on. And in many cases, algorithms are making such hefty decisions without our understanding their possible biases and the effects that they have on influencing our culture. So this talk looks at some of the issues that affect us in terms of how algorithms govern our lives, and I hope it will help us be more informed and more aware of our citizenship duties in regulating how algorithms in turn affect our society. Thank you.
My name is Danica Srinivasan. I'm an assistant professor here at IIIT Bangalore. I work as part of the IT and society domain here at the institute, and I'm also affiliated with the Center for IT and Public Policy. I have an interesting academic background, if I say so myself. I initially started with a training in the sciences and in IT, but my PhD was at an interdisciplinary information school where I studied the politics of information-based initiatives for social change. And that continues to be the kind of work I do. But coming from this interdisciplinary background, I see the value for training students in similar ways. And that's why I'm so excited to be associated with our fairly new MSc in Digital Society program. In addition to teaching for this program and other programs at the Institute, I also supervise MS PhD students. My research recently has been on digital financial transactions, for which I've worked with the Institute for Money Technology and Financial Inclusion at UC Irvine. I've also been recently involved in research on identity infrastructures in India. As part of this NPTEL course, I'll be teaching a module on digital finance. As part of this module, we'll basically be looking at remittances, payments, and credit. We'll be looking at examples such as M-Pesa, Poster Child for mobile money in Kenya, as well as various new innovative credit scoring mechanisms. Overall, we will be trying to understand what is it that digital innovations bring to this field, these various subfields of finance, and also try and understand who are the people that these kinds of innovations end up excluding or including in conversations about everyday financial transactions.